All right, we're going to continue with 3.1, but this time you're going to use the calculator. When we're going to use the calculator is because we're going to use the calculator to verify what you did by hand. So a calculator is a great tool. We are going to be using it, but we need to know how it works and how to do it by hand before we can just rely on it to do it for us. So from the notes that you took yesterday on 3.1 Part A, the very last example that we did, we had equations that we changed to slope-intercept form, and then we looked at the picture and we found the point on our nice graph paper, and we found the point of 3.7. So this is the last example that we talked about on yesterday's notes. What we want to do is we want to know how we could verify that with our calculator. So the very first thing that you're going to do is in your calculator, make sure everything is cleared out. Under the y equals, so y equals is this top left button, you're going to type in both equations. And when we type it in, we have to put in the mx plus b form. So negative 2x plus 13, again, make sure you're using the negative that's down here by the decimal and not the subtract sign. So the negative 2x plus 13. And then on the y2 line, we're going to put 5 halves, so 5 divide 2 is how you do a fraction. X minus 1/2. Okay, so now that we have both equations in, we're going to look at our graph. So top right-hand corner. Start with your graph in a 10 by 10, a normal standard. So if you're not there, go zoom and 6 standard so that it is a 10 by 10 graph. Hopefully you'll be able to see the intersection that happens. This is what you should have had yesterday when you did it by hand. This picture should look the same. So now we're actually going to find that intersection that we did yesterday by hand. So we hit second and calculate, which is above trace. And we want to choose the intersect option because we have two lines and they intersect. So press second calculate. We're going to go to option number 5, either arrow down or press 5. And then the calculator is going to ask us some questions. It's going to say, is this equation up here in the left-hand corner, is that the first equation? And you're just going to hit enter, because yes, it is. Notice the equation changed at the top, and it's now asking you, is that the second equation? Yes, it is. Just hit enter. All right, then it says, are you sure? Are you sure that those are the right ones? Hit enter. So at this point, all we've done is really just hit enter, enter, enter. And now that little flashing spider, it's going to go right to that intersection. And that intersection we see down here as points 3, 7, which is what we found yesterday when we graphed it by hand. So when you're using your calculator, you're going to use your calculator by putting in the equations to y equal, by graphing it, going to second calculate, intersect, and then you're going to go through enter, enter, enter. First line, second line, are you sure? Yes, and there's your point. Now keep in mind, you can get all reals and you can get no solutions because either the lines never touch, that's no solution, parallel, or the lines are the same, which is all reals. So you can still see and get those on your calculator. So that's how we're going to use our calculator on the second part of 3.1.